Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Ashtatarashata Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prema Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Yamunamai Ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai New Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Eighth Canto, Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 22, Bali Mahārāja surrenders his life, Text 33. So please repeat after me. Indrasena Mahārāja Yahi Bo Badram Astu Te Sutalam Swargibi Pratyam Gatibi Parivaritaha. Thank you. Indrasena Mahāraja Yahibo Badram Astute Sutalam Swargibi Pratyam Gatibi Parivaritaha. Indrasena Mahāraja Yahibo Badram Astute Sutalam Swargibi Pratyam Gyatibi Parivaritaha. Indrasena Mahāraja Yahibo Badram Astute Sutalam Swargibi Pratyam Gatibi Parivaritaha. Please. It's all right. Any online reciters?
Indrasena Mahāraja Yahibo Badram Ashtute Sutalam Spargibi Pratyam Yatibi Parivaritaha.
All right. Indrasena, O Maharaj Bali, Mahāraja, O King, Yahi, better go. Bo, O king. Badram, all auspiciousness. Astu, let there be. Te, unto you. Sutalam, in the planet known as Sutala. Hare Krishna. Swargibihi, by the demigods. Pratyam, desirable. Gatibihi, by your family members. Parivaritaha, surrounded. Translation. O Bali Mahārāja, Indrasena, now you may go to the planet Sutala, which is desired even by the demigods. Live there peacefully, surrounded by your friends and relatives. All good fortune unto you. Purport. Bali Mahārāja was transferred from the heavenly planet to the planet Sutala, which is hundreds of times better than heaven, as indicated by the words Swargi Bi Pratyam. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead deprives his devotee material opulences, this does not mean that the Lord puts him into poverty. Rather, the Lord promotes him to a higher position. The Supreme Personality of Godhead did not ask Bali Mahārāja to separate from his family. Instead, the Lord allowed him to stay with his family members. Gati bi parivaritaha. Next text. On the planet Sutala, not even the predominating deities of other planets, what to speak of ordinary people, will be able to conquer you. As far as the demons are concerned, if they transgress your rule, my disc will kill them. No one can escape Sudarshan. O great hero, I shall always be with you and give you protection in all respects, along with your associates and paraphernalia. Moreover, you'll always be able to see me there. Because there you will see my supreme prowess, your materialistic ideas and anxieties that have arisen from your association with the demons and Danavas will immediately be vanquished. Purport. The Lord assured Bali Mahārāja of all protection, and finally the Lord assured him of protection from the effects of bad association with the demons. Bali Mahārāja certainly became an exalted devotee, but he was somewhat anxious because his association was not purely devotional. The Supreme Personality of God had therefore assured him that his demonic mentality would be annihilated. In other words, by the association of devotees, the demonic mentality is vanquished. Satam prasangan mamavirya samvido bhavanti hit karna rasayana kata. It's from the Bhagavatam 3:25-25. When a demon associates with devotees engaged in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he gradually becomes a pure devotee. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 22nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Bali Mahārāja Surrenders His Life. Om Jnanativedanta Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshulan Militam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karitavachalam Pangam Langai Tegirim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Bancha Kapadurubhishta Kripa Sindhubevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada had a dream that he recounted to His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami. And in that dream, Srila Prabhupada said that he saw a group of devotees chanting Hare Krishna. That was his dream. They were chanting Hare Krishna. You could think of like New Year's Eve Harinam or something. Chanting. There's a lot of people down there New Year's Eve. And they join. So he saw a big group of devotees chanting, and then he saw a big group of non-devotees. They began to chant. So the non-chanters became chanters. So then His Holiness, so that was his dream. So then His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami asked Srila Prabhupada, did any of the chanters become non-chanters? And then Srila Prabhupada told him that no, that cannot be, because their names are already written going back to Godhead. So that's the principle that we see. Srila Prabhupada writes in the Nectar of Instruction in the beginning that once taken to Krishna consciousness, one is, if you want to say, dragged to gradually towards perfection. So in other words, once starting it, it's just a matter of time before one reaches perfection. That's the principle. Now, looking at Ram Leela, looking at Bhagavat Purana, looking at Srimad Bhagavatam, or excuse me, Bhagavat Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, can anyone in the room here think of a case where a devotee became a demon, starting with Ram Leela? Can anyone think of that in Lord Ram's pastimes, where a devotee became a demon?
No, he went the other way. Oh, devotee became a demon, right.
Yeah, devotee, you think of a devotee becoming a demon. Mm-hmm. That's true. They eventually became killed by Ram, and then I don't know if at that point they regained their. I don't think they regained their devotee status. I think they kept on going, right? A few more lives. A devotee becoming a demon. There's a case of, it's mentioned in the Krishna book, of not Dravida gorilla, because Dravida Prabhu's not a gorilla, and he's not a demon, he's a devotee. But, how do you say it? Yes, okay, you could note that down, pronunciation. This gorilla, he was associate of Lord Ram. Means he was a devotee, he was a close associate of Ramachandra. In the Christian book you read about that. Lord Balaram eventually kills him, takes care of him, which is to his benefit. But in that Srila Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book that due to his bad association, he became a demon in Krishna Leela. So he's in Ram Leela as a devotee, and Krishna Leela became as a demon. So that's the case. I can't think of any other ones. Maybe there's some other ones we're forgetting or something. But now what about the Srimad Bhagavatam? Can anyone think of a case where a devotee became a demon? Yes. Vritrasura. Okay. Everyone know about Vritrasura? So Vritrasura was Chitraketu before he became Vritrasura. And Chitraketu, he was flying on one of his, on his heavenly plane, and he looks down and he sees Lord Shiva there, surrounded by all these sages. And Lord Shiva is with his wife, Parvati. And Parvati is sitting on his lap. So Chitraketu, he thinks, how is this? Lord Shiva, Mahadev, such a great personality. He's behaving like an ordinary materialistic person, associating with his wife so freely in public, in front of all these sages. So he laughs. And Parvati, she hears that, and she becomes extremely offended with him. Shiva, he understands that, and the other sages understand that Chitraketu was not, I mean, it goes back and forth in the commentaries, but there was some pride there, but simultaneously he was just really caring for Shiva in the sense that he didn't want him to be defamed by people to think, oh, look at Lord Shiva, or follow him, or something like that. But she becomes extremely offended, and she curses him. And she curses him to take birth in the body of a demon. That's the curse. And what does he do? Does he have a heart attack, or what does he do? Does anyone remember? Yeah.
He fights with the demigods. With Indra. There's a big battle. Of course, he wants to lose.
As Vritrasura?
Vritrasura.
Yeah.
Vritrasura.
Yeah.
And then he gets killed by Indra, which he's happy to do, and go back to Godhead.
Yeah.
And Indra has to suffer a sinful reaction. Yeah.
So when Parvati curses him, the thing to note about that, just like many other devotees who have been cursed, they just accept it. He doesn't fight it. He doesn't retaliate against her. He's not angry with her. He just accepts it. And that's where that verse comes up. Narayana parasarve nakutasya nabibhiti swargam apavarga nadikeshu. What is it? Yeah, that a devotee, whether they're in heaven, whether they're in hell, wherever they are satisfied. Is that it? They're satisfied. They are happy. There's no fear. They're not fearful. That's where that verse comes from, this particular pastime. So he goes on to take birth in the form of a demon. So that's the case. Any other cases in the Bhagavatam? Yes, Bhagavatam.
Well, I have a question. I mean, the understanding is that all of the conditioned souls were once in the spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
So isn't every demon coming from there, ultimately? I mean, it's maybe a cheating answer.
Oh, so I see. So like everyone's coming from the spiritual world, so
We all started off as devotees.
all devotees became non-devotees. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's there. So can anyone think of any other cases in the Bhagavatam where a demon becomes a devotee? No other cases. Excuse me, a devotee becomes a demon? Can anyone think?
I mean, if you include Jamal, I think a demon, but he's...
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, Jamal. He was a wonderful devotee, Brahmin, and then he became fallen, and he became a materialistic person. That's in the 6th canto. Yeah, that's true. So there's not so many cases of a devotee becoming a demon in Scripture. We don't see so many cases. Like Ram Leela, we could hardly think of any. Srimad Bhagavatam, we could hardly think of. Chaitanya Charitamrita, maybe we could try to think of. But now when we think of a non-devotee becoming a devotee, we could think of quite a few examples. Like Ananda Vrindavan. Who did you mention in Ram Leela? Yeah, he was the brother of Ravana, and he was clearly on the wrong side. But he surrendered to Lord Ramchandra. So you have him. You have throughout the Bhagavatam different personalities who became devotees. You have in the Chaitanya Charitamrita a similar thing. In the Bhagavatam, can anyone think of anyone who is a non-devotee became a devotee? What do you think, Govardhan? Yeah, 4 Kumaras, they were Brahmavatis, so they weren't devotees, so they became devotees by smelling the tulsi leaves that were on Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. They became attracted. So there's some cases there. Chaitanya Leela, you have, of course, famously Jagai and Madai, who became devotees. You have Jagai and Madai, who became devotees. You have the thieves that were trying to steal from Nityananda Prabhu. They became devotees. You have the Mayavadi sannyasis. Thousands of them became followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, we see in Chaitanya Leela, there's a number of cases of people becoming devotees. If we look in Antya Leela of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's the case which is the glories of Haridas Thakur, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. And in that particular section of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a number of stories that glorify Srila Haridas Thakur. Pretty much, in a sense, a lot of what we know is coming from this chapter, the glories of Haridas Thakur, which is important to read. Now, in that chapter, it describes one particular case in which Haridas Thakur was in a village near Shantipur, and there was one envious person, Ramchandra Khan, who wanted to defame Haridas Thakur, because he was envious. He was thinking, why is he getting so much respect? Why is he getting so much praise? The reason why he was getting so much respect and so much praise is because he was a great devotee of Krishna, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. He was chanting at least, 192 rounds? Is that what it is? 192 rounds a day. It's a hard time. Anyone tried to chant 192 rounds lately? But it's a lot. Actually, practically, it's all day on. And he was doing that every day. 12 times 16. Wow. Okay. Chant. So he was doing that, and he was sincerely doing that. He was sincerely, completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, ecstatic love for Krishna, doing that. There's people who imitate Haridas Thakur. Srila Prabhupada was asked about that. He said, because some people came to Srila Prabhupada, disciples of his, and he said, sometimes we may ask devotees to do things, but they say, we're busy chanting. We can't help with any practical service. We're busy chanting. And the devotees are saying sometimes we feel that people are imitating Haridas Thakur, just sitting around chanting. And then Srila Prabhupada said, that's okay, to imitate a good thing is not bad. It's okay, they could imitate if they want. They could try to chant. But then Srila Prabhupada said that, but if we go to them when they're chanting and we say, can you help out with some type of service? And they say, no, I'm too busy imitating Haridas Thakur. Then that's not good. So anyways, he was chanting 192 rounds a day and getting a lot of respect as a saintly person. And this Ramchandra Khan, who was a Hindu, he was envious of him. Wasn't a Muslim, he was a Hindu fellow, envious. So he thought, okay, let's defame him. Let's set him up. let's let's plan something that will kill his reputation. So what they did is they arranged that a very beautiful young girl would go there in the dead of night and, try to seduce him. That was his plan. So she asked one girl of the village to do that, and she agreed. Of course, some payment, she agreed. And she went there in the dead of night to just try to seduce him. And Haridas Thakur was busy chanting his rounds, 192 rounds. So he just told her that I have to finish my rounds. I have to complete my rounds. He says that, let me just find this here. He said, I vowed to chant 10 million names in a month. I've taken this vow, but now it is nearing its end. So he's saying it's nearing its end. You could just sit here and wait, and then once I'm done chanting, then I could fulfill your desire. That's what he was saying. So she sat there waiting. So she was just listening to him chant, and then the whole night passed. So the sun came up, and then she was kind of disturbed about that. And then, so he said, "Oh, you could just tomorrow come back." So then she visits him the second night, and he's chanting. And she's sitting there, and then she begins to chant a little bit, and then the third night, and then she just breaks down. She starts crying, and she says, "I'm so sorry. I'm such a sinful person by profession, and this and that." And he said, "Actually, Ramchandra Khan, he hired me to defame you, to seduce you and defame you, kill your reputation." And then Haridas Thakur said, "Oh, I know." Somehow or other, he knew that. He said, "I know. I could have left immediately when you showed up here, but I wanted to try to help you, save you, so you could take the Krishna consciousness." And then he instructed her. First of all, she said, "Kindly act as my guru, instruct me in my duty by which I can get relief from material existence." So she had a change of heart. She became a devotee. And this is what Haridas Thakur said to her. "Immediately go home and distribute to the Brahmins whatever property you have, then come back to this room and stay forever in Krishna consciousness." It's interesting how Prabhupada writes it. Come back to this room and stay forever in Krishna consciousness. And this little cottage, it was his cottage. And then she stayed there and he left. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra continuously and render service to Tulsi plant by watering her and offering prayers to her. In this way, you will very soon get the opportunity to be sheltered at the lotus feet of Krishna. So he's saying, just stay here, chant before Tulsi, offer prayers to Tulsi, offer water to Tulsi. We do that every morning here. Offer water to Tulsi. And in this way, you'll very soon get the opportunity to be sheltered by Krishna. In other words, you'll feel the mercy of Krishna, the protection of Krishna. You'll be in Krishna consciousness. So this is instructive for us that every morning we're praying before Tulsi, we're offering our obeisances before Tulsi, and we're chanting before Tulsi, japa. So it's not a something that was introduced by somebody's, with all due respect, grandmother or grandfather 25 years ago, and it just kind of caught on or something. Sometimes things happen like that. Like, why do we do things? There's always a story behind why we do things a certain way. Like, for example, don't mean to, but anyways, I won't bring that up. It doesn't. That's okay. But So there's always a story why we do things. Now, in relation to taking care of watering Tulsi and praying before her, this is an ancient practice. At least it's going back thousands of years, but here we've seen it's going back 500 years. Haridas Thakur, around 500 years ago, in Chaitanya Leela, Haridas Thakur is instructing her, chant before Tulsi, you will attain perfection. So Tulsi is very merciful, Vrinda Devi. She's a confidential associate of Krishna. She's the organizer of all the transcendental pastimes. So much is there about Tulsi. So it's a wonderful opportunity to chant before Tulsi. Therefore, we're going to try to make an effort to invite more people, at least a couple times a month, to try to come to the morning program and chant before Tulsi, especially in Kartik. So then he continues, after Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami continues, after instructing her about the process of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Haridas Thakur stood up and left, continuously chanting Hari Hari. Thereafter, she distributed to the Brahmins whatever household possessions she had, following the order of her spiritual master. She shaved her head clean, in accordance with Vaishnava principles, and stayed in that room wearing only one cloth. Following in the footsteps of her guru, she began chanting the holy name of Krishna 300,000 times a day. She chanted throughout the entire day and night. She worshipped the tulsi plant, following in the footsteps of her spiritual master. Instead of eating regularly, she chewed whatever food she received as alms, and if nothing was supplied, she would fast. Thus, by eating frugally and fasting, she conquered her senses. And as soon as her senses were controlled, symptoms of the love of Godhead appeared in her person. Thus she became a celebrated devotee. She became very advanced in spiritual life, and many stalwart Vaishnavas would come to see her. Seeing her character, everyone was astonished. Everyone glorified the influence of Haridas Thakur and offered him obeisances. So then it gets into what happened to Ramchandra Khan. He got some severe reactions because of trying to defame Haridas Thakur. Nityananda visited his village, and yeah, there were some severe reactions from that. So, yes, this is a case where a devotee, where a non-devotee, a materialistic person, became a devotee, and a very advanced devotee. And these are some instructive things that we can take note of chanting before Tulsi. Everybody chanting 300,000 names a day. Just joking. We could, in principle, try to follow. All right, does anybody have any question or comment? You have something? Mm-hmm. No, okay. Looks like Chad has something. Germinating, is that a right word?
Yes. Germinating, about ready to grow. No, I thought I'd make the comment that she was a prostitute by profession, right? She wasn't just somebody he
Yes,
hired,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
That's true.
You have Jesus' pastime in the Bible with Mary Magdalene at the well, who was a prostitute.
Yeah, there's some instructive, nice stories with Lord Jesus Christ. I always think of that one where there's a woman who apparently was unchaste, whatever ways. Maybe there's detail there I'm forgetting, and there's a bunch of people ready to stone her. That's like really intense. You can imagine, maybe you don't want to imagine, but you're like standing there and people are ready to stone you, like angry people. Stone you means get stones and throw them at you to kill you or really hurt you. So she was there, then And Lord Jesus Christ, He appeared on the scene, and He said to them, all these angry men or whoever with the stones, and He said, let the first person who hasn't committed any sin throw the first stone. And everybody's, they put the stones down and walked away. So that's always a nice one. Lord Jesus Christ came to the rescue on that one, huh?
Just one comment. That story with Haridas and the prostitute is similar to Narad and the hunter. And in both cases, the quality that the devotee has to have is confidence of Goptrit Vevaranantata, that Krishna will maintain if I surrender, because they both gave up their profession. I mean, the hunter was no longer a hunter, and the prostitute was no longer a prostitute. And in both cases, you see, because there was such a wonderful transformation, so many people came. The hunter said, "Why not to Nara? Why are you sending so much grain?" People would give, big bags of grain for him and his wife. He didn't need it. Before he was said, well, he was killing animals, half killing them. It was, quite a transformation that took place. But it's interesting because that's also, when you join the Hare Krishnas the way it used to be anyway, you join the temple, and you're no longer having a job. So you have to have that faith to really, surrender.
Yeah.
And that's how the movement grew. People had that faith and prospered.
Yeah. So Krishna will maintain us and protect us. That's true. Any other question? Comment? Shastra. Where? I think you're talking about Vritrasura. That's who we were talking about earlier. Yeah, he was a devotee internally, but externally had the body of a demon. So it's a very rare circumstance. Any online contribution?
Yes, I have one.
Sure.
Yes, Balaram Prabhu, you asked from your audience for us to give you, related to Srimad Bhagavatam, devotees who became demons?
Yes.
What about Jai and Vijay? They were devotees, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, and because of the curse of the four Kumaras, they became, both of them, each of them 3 times demons.
Yes.
I can give you the names.
Yes, that's true. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything else online? Okay. All right. So, yes, we did do this, something like this last night, but so Hannah here, she's going to be leaving this coming Friday on a trip. She's going to be traveling around the world, different places, for about 4 months, 6 months, something like that. I think she'll be going to some temples and meeting some devotees along the way. But anyway, she's leaving soon, so if everyone can just offer her your good wishes. Yes.
Can we ask for a price for these people? I have a price to ask.
Okay.
The price is she should send pictures of the temples and the devotees.
Okay. All right.
So my blessings come with a condition.
Well, how do you feel about that? Okay.
You're in front of the deities, serious stuff.
Just some pictures of devotees, some temples. Yeah, not that.
The temples.
You're, I think,
Send them to
I think you're a picture taker, so. Yeah, so I think you'll be okay. All right, so if everybody could offer her your good wishes, blessings for a successful Krishna conscious journey. So we could all chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. Okay, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.